excuses.
I've also
By the
managed
next
to
moon,
keep our
Hylas
location
will either
hidden
have
from
his
any of those
prize
pestering
or
ascended.
your head.
Bolster those lines. If I fall, I will not do so alone. All your fates are bound to mine.
Alright, everybody done talking? Great, because it's my turn. Hey everybody, this is Cromar with TGN, and I'm here today to bring you some more Rift coverage. And today, we're taking a look at the King's Breach. This is a dungeon located in Scarwood, and it's for both Guardian and Defiant. The level is something like, I want to say 33, roughly. But you want to be, you can be a little higher. But it provides a great experience, tons and tons and tons of trash, and it's very, very easy. The only thing that's hard is possibly the third boss, but I'll be going into that in more detail when we get to that. Everything else is really, really a cakewalk, but lots of large packs, large weak packs that give you tons of experience. So some of our people in our guild have run this like 10 times or something crazy, and they just get tons and tons of levels out of it. I've also got my share of gear. After some odd 3 or 4 runs, I've gotten like 4 or 5 pieces of gear, so I'm quite happy. But I started this run as a Sabo, and it looks like I still am. And you may have seen my talent tree pop up a minute ago while I was talking, and that's because I forgot to allocate my points like a moron. But I am swapping to Bard in a minute. Yeah, there it is, right as I was saying it. I swapped to Bard because it just the support is better for the group. I'm not positive. I think the Bard's buffs add more DPS than I would by getting a Sabo, plus of course the healing. You can't do without. But with being over leveled here, we probably would be okay without the Bard. It's just not a big deal. It's always nice to have a Bard in your party or an Archon. One of the 2 major support classes. So, King's Breach, anyway, the idea behind this is you have life and death rifts, and you have to basically destroy, both, pretty much, and the villains here are the Elf War, those renegade elf guys, the same guys who you fight a little bit of in the Realm of the Fae, or at least Prince Hylas shows up at the end. I should be more specific, but Prince Hylas is like one of the big bad guys you have to deal with as Guardian. He's like a leader of this elf faction that split away from the Guardians and split away from the other elves, and they're basically just doing bad stuff. And the twist here is that when you kill this guy, the hunter something something something, who was keeping this life rift open, apparently somehow unleashes death forces, like he was keeping them at bay. So it may have been a mistake, but I don't know. But then of course we just killed the death forces, so it didn't matter after all. So it's the usual. It's some pretty stock story stuff. Not a big deal. So to complete this instance, basically there's a ton of action here at this tiny area here. First you clear out the mobs around the rift like you see us doing, and then these giants. These giants are very similar to the ones you fight in Foul Cascade, but weaker compared to your level. The Foul Cascade ones are super nasty. These guys are just not a big deal. We've pulled, double pulled them before without much trouble, without even being all that over leveled. And then there's 3 groups of mobs that are casting beams on the rift in the center, and you have to destroy those 3 groups. I think they're all on tree stumps. At least 2 of them are. And there's also a quest to pick up these things called life bombs or something. I think that's what they're called. And you have to get 3 of them. But the quest at the moment I'm making this video is currently bugged, and you can only get 2 on the first go. And that's because the third one, which you can actually see on your screen right now, in the top left, right next to the nameplate. Yeah, you can see it right now in the top left, the shiny thing. And that is the third bomb, but you can't get to it because of an invisible wall. And you might want to rewind and watch that part again, but somebody was trying to get it, and they were up against the invisible wall. So because of that invisible wall, you cannot get the third one. But on your second playthrough, you can re-pick up one of the other ones. And at that point, you will actually be able to finish the quest. So anyway, here's another group. We already killed one while I was talking. This is another group right here on top of this tree stump, and there's nothing to these groups. I mean, they're very weak, but then they're nice and compact and easy to AoE, which is how you're going to kill everything in this game. It looks like it's very AoE heavy. And then here's the last group on top of this tree stump. So yeah, they're all 3 on tree stumps. And once these are down, the first boss is going to spawn Hunter something something something, and he's that guy I mentioned who was apparently holding back the death invasion, and he gets all pissy that you're ruining his plans or whatever. But anyway, here's the boss fight, and he's going to summon some ads. They're very weak, and we usually kill like the first wave ads. It's only like 2 wolves. And then when he summons the second group, when he's almost dead, we just ignore him because they despawn when he dies anyway. As you see, it's just a tank and spank. It's not a fight at all. Really, all the bosses here are just about, except for one, which you'll see at the end of the video. So yeah, playing a bard in an instance, your main job is, of course, to maintain your motifs, which I'm doing okay at in this video. I'm not really trying at this point. I mean, this fight is so easy. But you basically want to keep up your 5 main motifs, and then you also want to run your cadence, and cadence and power chord for your 5 combo points, and then use your codas. And the cadence will heal the group. If you need extra healing, you can use Coda of Restoration, or you can use the AoE one, or Coda of Fury, which does damage, or you can use the Coda of Wrath, single target damage. But I never use Coda of Wrath. I always use Fury because it's pretty rare when you're in a situation like that.
Without me, the life ward fails. Now the minions of death will flood Talara.
Yeah. Anyway, what I was saying before I was interrupted by Mr. Dying Hunter guy. The other codes you have, there's Coda of Cowardice and Coda of Distress. And what those do is it puts a debuff on the target that increases damage taken by 5%. Cowardice is physical damage, and Distress is non-physical damage. So between the both of them, you cover all damage. Actually, I think Distress is 7%, not 5%. I don't know why the discrepancy, but whatever. But you want to keep them both up on bosses. I believe... No, in this video, I did not have either of them on my bar. This is something I did in a future run-through. I believe I recorded this one a day ago, I think. Yeah, I recorded this on the 5th, and I'm narrating on the 6th, so what that means is that it was about a day ago. But anyway, so this instance is really easy, like I said, and it's just, trash, which is not bad for a level up dungeon because it means experience. The gear is nice, but it's only a bonus. You're mainly here to kill tons and tons of elites, and without going completely crazy about the length. So it strikes a pretty good balance, I think. And this part's fun. Okay, I like this part. After you kill these bizarrely out of place monkeys, like really, why are there monkeys around this death rift? I don't know. But after killing these monkeys, you get to this idol, right? And as you damage this idol, it spawns these horrific looking worms from the pit of hell. I mean, look at these things. These are disgusting. And the more you damage the idol, the more these worms it spawns. So the way you're supposed to do it is damage it some until one spawns, then kill the worm, then damage it some more, then kill the worm. Of course, the fun way to do it is to just destroy the idol straight up and get it to spawn all the worms at once, and then AoE them down, which you're not supposed to do. But on subsequent runs of this instance, we totally did. It's so much more fun that way. Although I'm sure on expert it'll be damn near impossible. But yeah, that's done. Those idols are like my favorite part of the instance, and also the thing shoots a purple beam at you, which is pretty annoying. It really destroys people. So I'm sitting here and realizing that I have the same problem I had with my bard, which is I forgot to allocate points for Sabo as well. Well, there you go. Or excuse me, the other way around. I fixed my Sabo earlier. Now I'm fixing bard. Not that I gained anything important that I was missing out on, but there you go. So basically what I'm doing here is trying to maintain motifs, use cadence to heal, power chord to get my 5th combo point, and then drop Fury, Coda of Fury. There's also the Virtuoso ability, which you get for 31 points, which allows you, to spam your finisher over and over and over again. You build up 5 combo points, and then the finisher no longer consumes them, so you just... Basically, for 15 seconds, you spam Coda of Fury 15 times, or Coda of Restoration if you have really intense damage incoming. But generally, you're going to do the Fury one because that's the only time you want to use it. Your single target damage is so poor that there's really no point in wasting your cooldown for that. But your AOE is, pretty decent. So it's worth using. You'll see me use that a few times in here against really strong AoE targets. I think I used it against that hunter boss so I could rack up some damage against his wolves. Not that there was any real point to it, but it was just fun. So as this instance progresses, as you see, we're in a cave, obviously. Death-oriented cave. And the next boss is coming up. He's basically a big lizard, Ralo or whatever, and stay away from his tail. I found out when I did a run on as melee. I didn't even know this the first time, but when I did run as melee, I got like insta-killed by his tail. It's not even when it does the big you know, AoE-looking thing, like that little fart effect you just saw. It's not even that. It's just all the time. It can do the tail lash at any time, and that's really bad. Also, he puts this bad stuff on the floor, which we just call poop, because it looks like that. Honestly, it really does. And don't stand in that. It slows you. It does damage. And if you don't get healed, it will kill you. So now I'm sitting off to the side where it's nice and safe. Our healer died here, I believe. Was it our healer? I think it was our healer that died here. And we were okay because I just took over the healing with Bard healing. Bard healing, it's not good enough to be a main heal because it requires you to DPS in order to use it. And it's not as effective as the Chloromancer, because like the Chloromancer can pick one target to put his buff on, so that his healers are mostly effective on that one person. But the Bard has even AoE heals. There's no way you can spam on a single target who needs it. You can hit Virtuoso and spam Code of Restoration for 15 seconds once every 3 minutes, but that doesn't quite cut it. That only cuts it when the group is getting hit by a lot of crap and the healer needs help. But no, you don't want to main heal as a Bard unless you're vastly over leveled, for an instance. Like if you have a Reaver tank who can heal himself anyway. So yeah, there we go. And yet I was still able to heal this this encounter. It's just that this is not a difficult encounter at all. That's the only reason. Alright, so let's move on out of here. Now, the majority of the instance is finished at this point. I say majority not in terms of time, but in terms of like trash. There's 2 bosses and 2 idols and a very small amount of trash. It's just that I don't consider the idols to be trash. They're kind of fun. They're different. That's all. That's the only reason I make that distinction. But honestly, they really could trim some of the fat in here. I mean, they got like the dragons running around and useless stuff like that. There's a lot of extra groups and extra paths that aren't really necessary. These guys have so much health. The Centurion guys. More AoE packs. I love AoE packs in the Bard. Those are fun. I mainly play Bard when I feel a little underleveled for a zone. I wasn't really underleveled in this run, I don't think, or in subsequent runs. But the reason is that if you're a little underleveled, your DPS suffers because of the miss rate. So I'd much rather it suffer as a Bard than have it suffer as like a Sabo or a Nightblade or Assassin or whatever, where people are actually expecting me to do a lot of damage. But here, as long as I keep my buffs up and get a reasonable amount of healing done, then I'm fine, and I've made my contribution to the group, because the buffs for the Bard really are significant. Decreased all damage taken by 5%, increase all healing received by 5%, increase spell and increase all critical chance for everyone by 5%. What else? Increase attack and spell power, and then the healing one, the passive healing aura. Oh no, then there's also the aura that reduces all ability costs by 10%. Gee, how can I forget that one? That one's like the best one. Yeah, so pretty nice stuff. Plus I have lots of crowd control, so I'm like a Dominator Archon put together with healing. Dominator Archon Chloromancer. All put together. But my debuffs kind of suck, so it's like a weaker version of each of those 3 classes. But yeah, here we go again. You see, I'm just focusing the damn idol. I'm trying to get those worms to spawn as fast as possible. Oh, stop it. We have to kill the worms. Nah, fuck that. That's not how it's done. Alright, and this is the last trash pack. This new group of monkeys. Seriously, what's up with the monkeys? I don't get that. That doesn't make any sense to me. You never see them again, except standing around as idols. I don't know. And this is the last idol. Down it goes. And I'm using Virtuoso Coda Fury spam at the end there to make sure my AoE hits the idol and hits the worms. But there we go, they're down, and the boss spawns. Now, okay, I mentioned the third boss. It can be hard. There's two different bosses you can get. There's Mondrak or whatever, and Autok. And on this run we got Mondrak. He's the easy one. Don't stand in the fire, and he'll knock you back sometimes. Other than that, it's not a big deal. And he beats up the tank like usual. So this is the easy one. It's very tank and spank, other than not standing in the fire. And the other thing is that this fire you see, this graphic, someone told me that they tried standing in it, and it didn't do anything bad. But I just assumed don't stand in the fire because of the fact that, I mean, come on, look at that. I've played a damn video game before. So I'm just going to assume don't stand in the fire. And even if you are able to stand in the fire without taking damage, you just assume that's bugged and will be fixed sooner or later. So, but anyway, that's not the important thing. The other boss, Autok, I will get to him at the end of the video. I'm going to put in a clip from a separate run where we killed Autok, so you'll be able to see all 5 bosses, even though you can only get 4 on one run. But so this guy, obviously, as you see, is very, very, very easy. This is the easy one. Come on, buddy. Almost there. Yeah, there we go. So he's done. And after this guy dies, God, will he die or not? There we go, finally. And the 4th boss spawns immediately. There's no more trash. He just spawns here in a second. There's going to be a message pop up. It looks like one of those server messages. Yeah, there it is. Oh no! It's the voice acting coming up in a moment.
Thank you for releasing me. Now come closer, for I am so very hungry.
Yes, very scary. But anyway, the way this boss works, this is the 4th boss, and what he'll do is go immune and summon some ads. You just gotta kill the ads, his shield will drop, and then you kill him. I think he went immune on us with like 100 health left or something ridiculous, and stayed immune for a while, and I was a little worried.
You're so eager to die.
Yeah, shut up. I think he went immune and like wouldn't drop out of it. But here he is immune to me being stupid and attacking him. I do a lot of stupid stuff on my first time through dungeons. I don't adapt very well to new things. But here's some more ads, and my motifs are down. Come on. Past Cromar, get those damn motifs up. What's wrong with you? Oh, I guess I'm trying to use my Virtuoso to AoE those guys instead of doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Alright, there we go. Get the buffs up. Come on. Oh, wow, someone died. How'd that happen? I don't even remember that happening. He does do a lot of AoE, actually. I remember on a subsequent run, I remember having to spam heals to get through it. But that's all there is to it. It's not that challenging, really. Yeah, and here we go. He's about to go immune. Yeah. He went immune with like no health left. It's so annoying. Okay, and there's the last group of ads. Going down with no problem. It's like when you're fighting Ragnaros and WoW, and you miss like the second. You miss the transition into Suns. He submerges with like 1% health. You're like, fuck. The raid's already fallen apart. You gotta survive one more round of Suns just so you can hit him one time when he pops up. Been there. Except this is, trivial. Ragnaros was tough back in the day, man. That was some of the most fun I had raiding. But anyway.
But the legions of death will rise up and consume this land.
See, like how I built up the 5 combo points before he dropped out of the shield and then just one-shotted him with Code of Wrath? Like a boss. Yeah, that was cool. So, anyway, there's your loot, and that's the end of the instance, but here's our pull on Autok. You notice he has the same graphic. This is our first pull, and I want to show you how quickly things can go wrong. The tank is already dead. Yeah, blink and you miss it, and he comes over and just starts one-shotting people. He's actually going to get nerfed in the next patch, but the guy just does ridiculous damage. So on this next attempt, I have to apologize because I missed like the first pull, but you see he's at full health. What we've done is we're hiding in a hole in a tree, and I promise the camera is going to get a little more, you know, less psychotic here in a second. Less, I don't know, it's like cacophony. There we go. There we go. So now you can see what's happening. We're hiding in this hole. Now the reason we're doing this is this boss uses a charge attack that just about one-shots people, maybe two-shots people. And the only way to stop him from doing this is to hide in this hole. It's kind of the same principle as that Banshee boss from Foul Cascade, where she teleports to people, and so in order to make that a non-factor, you just have everyone stack up, so she essentially doesn't move at all. And it's the same thing here. He will occasionally whack people for serious damage, but now that we've got him under control, it's not a big deal. Our tank here is a rogue, is a Rift Stalker. I think part of the reason why we had trouble at first, because we actually wiped like one other time besides the one I showed you, is that in order to play Rift Stalker, you have to kind of get started. You have to build up your buffs, your shields. What happened was at the start of the pull, he would get his shield up, and then he would get charged, and it would just utterly destroy the shield because of so much damage. And then after that, there's no way the healer could keep him up while also getting in position. But anyway. So that's how you do it. You just hide in the hole, and after the nerf patch goes through, this alleged nerf patch, then it should get a little more doable. But in the meantime, that's how you do it. But anyway, so that is your King's Brigade. That is all I have for you today for King's Brigade, and you might notice that the length of this video is quite a bit more than 15 minutes. This is actually our first video that I've uploaded since we've got our extension. Our account for TGN Rift was enabled for longer videos, more than 15 minutes, just like our WoW channel, finally. So hopefully partnership soon. Sooner rather than later, please. But anyway, thanks for watching. This is Cromar with TGN.